There was an eerie silence after all of the cars had crashed around me, and after I had seen the semi-trucks crash right there beside of me. I sat there, and there was a bit of just a silence. And I check on my family to make sure we're okay, and I'm taking in, clearing my head. And I look out my window, and I'm seeing all these cars crash, so I'm like, I better go check. So I go, and I'm checking people. Are you okay? Is everybody okay? It's just human nature. And after a while doing that, I look back, and I see that semi, the one that was behind the first semi, had smashed. And I'm like, oh no. And just my very nature, I ran to that semi, and I actually climbed up in it. And the driver, I don't know what had happened, but he was hanging upside down. Somehow the wheels were on the ground, but the cab was twisted so that the steering wheel and the seats were on the ceiling, and he was hanging down. Blood just pouring. And his eyes, I've never seen anything, but his pupils were cloudy. And he was lifeless. And I didn't know what that meant. But I said, inside that cab, I said, in the name of Jesus, you're not going to die. In the name of Jesus. And I began to pray for him. But when I said the name of Jesus, brown came back into his pupils. The collar of his pupils popped right back. And he started looking around. And I said, buddy, I'm right here with you. God's got you. I'm going to pray with you until help gets here. And I said, Lord, please let help get here faster than humanly possible. And as soon as I said those words, I felt, hey! Get out of here! And I jumped. And I climbed out. It was an emergency worker. I don't know what transpired there with that driver. I don't know what it meant with his eyes, pupils being gray, cloudy. But I saw when we said Jesus, he came awake and looked around and was aware. And I was stuck on that interstate side, and I continued the whole time for an hour, 2 hours. I prayed in tongues for that man. I prayed in English for that man. I interceded for his life. And I prayed for his soul, that if he wasn't saved, that, well, God, now's the time to really knock on that door. So I don't know what transpired, but I know that the name of Jesus has power. It's the one thing I want to tell you. That was a miraculous day. And I thank God for being in tune with his word and his voice.